Hey guys, Sonic's here. In today's video we'll be looking over something that I don't think has been done before, or at least in great detail. We'll be looking at the Berry Glitch Fix promotional disc for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire. This was used in GameStop stores across the US and Canada between early 2003 to roughly 2007, though I can't find any concrete evidence to suggest an exact date. It was available to players in Ruby and Sapphire only, and it does not work with any other Generation 3 games in Emerald, Fire Red or Leaf Green. Essentially what would happen is you would visit a GameStop store during this period and there would be a Gamecube kiosk just like this one on screen. You'd link up your Game Boy Advance or your Game Boy Advance SP and you'd be able to download a shiny Zigzagoon to your game pack. The Zigzagoon would also come holding a Lychee berry, which is a fantastic berry for in-game use. You can also make fantastic Pokeblocks with it if you're so inclined. This berry is incredibly rare and difficult to find outside of hacking, so it's an additional bonus to getting a shiny promotional Pokemon as well. The actual purpose of this disc, however, was to fix the infamous problem with Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire in what is to become known as the Berry Glitch. It's a very complicated problem, but all you need to know is that most cartridges, after 366 days of gameplay, time-based events such as the growth of berries would start working altogether. The internal clock wouldn't recognise that a new year had just started and the timer would essentially freeze. There's a little more to it than that, so if you would like an in-depth analysis on what it is, check out the link in the description below. It didn't take long for Game Freak to recognise this as a problem, and they did implement various methods to apply a fix. Their swift decision was probably taken due to the nature of the glitch itself, as it could be potentially labelled as game breaking. Whilst you can still enjoy the main story, the longevity of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire is largely in Pokemon contests, including the Pokeblocks made from berries to fully make use of the feature. Other aspects of Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire were also affected, for example Shoal Cave and the changing of high and low tides. They completely stopped working, as well as the daily giveaways, swarms, lottery and the Mirage Island. As for the disc itself, as you can see it's labelled Interactive Demo 16. In fact, there are two of these discs available in Volume 14 and Volume 16. If you are in fact able to get a hold of one of these, or you already own one, keep hold of it as it's very rare. It took me the best part of 8 years to obtain one myself, and I can safely say it won't be going anywhere for a while. It's a standard Gamecube disc, which if I boot up on screen here you'll notice it brings up multiple demos from pre-2003 titles that were close to launch at the time. Some of these went on to be big hitters, whereas many of them were distinctly average. Oddly enough, however, the Berry Glitch program itself doesn't show on the demo unless the GBA is already connected to the Gamecube, otherwise it simply won't appear. I'm not 100% sure why this is the case, so if you have any idea, please let me know in the comment section below. So what exactly does this disc do to fix the game? Well, once you start the game in your room, an internal calendar will begin counting up. The start date is January 1st, year 2000. The game's CR 2016 battery will begin the counter and the glitch will occur once 366 days have passed. The date January 1st, 2001 will stop the counter and the passage of time will cease. The disc, as well as many other means of patching, will move the internal clock to January 1st, year 2002 to allow the passage of time to restart. The same applies to game packs which may not have yet been affected by the glitch. Regardless of whether it's appeared or not, all internal clocks will be moved forward 366 days to prevent it from happening. It's an interesting topic and one that has a lot of people confused, as Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire were not really the most stable games out of the box. Many people therefore were affected by this glitch unknowingly, as information was scarce due to internet's usage being not as widespread in 2003 as it is today, for example. There are multiple ways to patch your games without the use of this disc, so don't worry, and next week's video will be looking at more methods in more detail. Have you been affected by the glitch? Did you visit GameStop to get this Zigzagoon all the way back in those days? Let me know your thoughts on this below, and until next time guys, take care.